9 million children die every year before they reach the age of 5. Picture an Asian tsunami of the sort we saw in 2004 that killed 250,000 people. One of those every 10 days, killing children only under 5. It's 24,000 children a day, 1,000 an hour, 17 or so a minute. That means before I can get to the end of this sentence, some few children, very likely, will have died in terror and agony. Think of the parents of these children. Think of the fact that most of these men and women believe in God and are praying at this moment for their children to be spared. And their prayers will not be answered. Any God who would allow children by the millions to suffer and die in this way, and their parents to grieve in this way, either can do nothing to help them or doesn't care to. He is therefore either impotent or evil. And worse than that, most of these people, many...
The main reason for this, I think, is that it is a totalitarian belief. It is the wish to be a slave. It is the desire that there be an unalterable, unchallengeable, tyrannical authority who can convict you of thought crime while you are asleep, who can subject you, who must indeed subject you, to a total surveillance around the clock, every waking and sleeping minute of your life, I say of your life, before you're born, and, even worse, and where the real fun begins, after you're dead. A celestial North Korea. Who wants this to be true? Who but a slave desires such a ghastly fate? I've been to North Korea. It has a dead man as its president. Kim Jong-il is only head of the party and head of the army. He's not head of the government or the state. That office belongs to his deceased father, Kim Il-sung. It's a necrocracy, a thanatocracy. It's one short of a trinity, I might.
We've had people actually call into the show before to express that very thing. You know, if there was no God, why would I get up in the morning? And I've ranted against that on a number of occasions. I know that there are people who feel that way. I don't know what else we can do about it other than to keep, challenging them, challenging people and educating people. This idea that, Christianity in particular, in some varieties, encourage this idea that you are useless and worthless, and that your only point is to, serve and worship, etc. So if you actually buy into that wholeheartedly, when you get around to figuring out that there's no good reason to think that it's true and plenty of reasons to think that it's false, yeah, that can be worldview shattering. About the only thing that I can really say is that it's very sad. There's no magic solution to this. There's no simple thing other than to get people to kind of raise their consciousness so that they have a better understanding of the value of life, that their life is just as valuable today as it was the day before. It's like it's people who've been falsely diagnosed with a terminal illness, and then they find out that they don't have this terminal illness. You would think that would be something that would make people go, hooray, I get to keep living. But it is still in some cases they probably do. In other cases there may be depression and a sense of loss, that the direction that they had taken their life was based on something that wasn't true, and that they'd made false assumptions, etc.
Loved the world, that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish but have eternal life. For God did not send his Son into the world to condemn the world, but to save the world through him. Whoever believes in him is not condemned, but whoever does not believe stands condemned already, because he has not believed in the name of God's one and only Son. This is the verdict.